computer, lights.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. So today it's Watercolor Wednesday, and I am looking through my various Macross books because what I want to do today is work on work on the interior picture that I had done before of the quarters, crew quarters, because we're going to do more of those. After I excuse me, after I sneeze, apparently. So now I'm looking through. I have a number of these are called mooks. Hey, look, Pepper's here. Let me bring Pepper in. Hi, Pepper.
Hi. I come in here and you're just looking at books. That's what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at books.
Oh.
So we're going to do the quarters that I was doing before, the quarters picture. The internal quarters, the room where everybody lives. Everybody lives in a room.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for some kind of internal painting that shows what the set designers used for artwork when they colored it. And I have like 4,000 of these. These are like Macross Chronicles is what they were. They were sold in Japan, and they're little short files that show various things from the various series, including character designs and things like that. What I'm hoping for is that somebody will have and here is a picture of the original artists that were trying to sketch the things. I know I have a mook on that side, but I don't know.
I know that most of the backgrounds were used. It was like either watercolor, gouache, or poster paint.
Yeah,
that was used.
And I'm not talking about the actual animation cell background colors.
Oh, okay.
Those were all done with oils.
Oh, that's why Macross looks so different than the rest of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, looking at this guy here, this is an actual background piece or background cell. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely done with oils of some sort. And this is from 80 Police Files. So there's definitely some kind of oil-ish paint that they use for this. Hey, Groot.
Your name's Groot? What?
I always have a difficult time putting this back up on the wall after I've taken it down, because it lives up on the wall. Whoa. So, anyway, welcome back.
Welcome back. I don't know if this is going to work, so I'm just going to try it. There we go.
Hey, look at that. Look at you. Getting all of the things, doing the things with the things.
In my ever-growing collection of glasses.
Of what?
Of glasses.
Oh yeah.
This is not what I'm going to be working on.
Uh-huh.
This is what I'm going to be working on, as promised.
Many, many moons ago.
Maybe only 2 weeks ago. Is there an echo coming in?
I do have this is animation on Macross. Maybe that's what it is. My this is animation on Macross. Good morning. And thank you, my good friend. Yeah, see, here we go. Some Mikimoto watercolors. That's what I'm looking for. Because these are all original watercolors from Macross right here. So
I'll be right back.
no, I mean yes. Okay. Yeah. Pepper has like these immensely, it's just like really. Just kind of going through here, looking at this book. Oh, I wish I'd scanned this book in. Because this has all the things. All the things. Yeah, there we go. Some of these are really cool. And these are all done, not in watercolors. That might be useful. Let's see what we got in Mikimoto. Mikimoto uses a combination of gouache and watercolors for his stuff. But Mikimoto is like the person that I mimic as much as possible. And then we have another Pepper joining us. It's yet another Pepper.
I need to turn your volume off. Now we only hear it once.
Well, see, now you take all the fun out of it.
Well, I mean, there's worse things to happen. So
That's
anyways, as promised, this is that pencils that I did for the show last week, or last time we had met.
Yeah, frame rate's really low on that camera.
Really? It's my
Is it
iPad.
really fast on yours?
It's on my iPad.
Okay. Well, that works.
Can everyone see it?
Yeah, we can see it. You just need to, hold it still for a second because, if you move it, it sits there and does the. But you got it. That one works.
Okay.
Pieces of Mikimoto does are just insane. I wonder if I can use my phone to help me on this. Wonder if somebody left his phone somewhere. Not here. That'd be me. Oh, there it is. Buried underneath all these books. Okay, so.
Pesky books.
Right. I wonder if I can do something like that. Maybe. Then I do this. It didn't work. Yeah.
By the way, I just want to point out, I don't even know if this is watercolor paper. I'm just watercoloring on it.
Oh, there we go. You're like, I hope this is watercolor-esque. Because if it's not, we're screwed.
Yeah, what's the worst thing that can happen?
All right.
The paper buckles and I have to sit there and iron it? Okay.
Well, the irony there would be really high.
Oh, yes.
This is why we're not friends anymore.
This is we're not friends? What?
I said this. I said you're like, this is why we're not friends anymore. Because I keep making irony jokes.
Oh, no, I thought it was very punny.
So,
Whatever paper it is, it's taking to staining really, really well, so...
right?
Alright.
Okay,
Cool.
I'm going to take a very big picture of this. Or not. There we go. I can use that. Well, maybe I don't want to use that though. Let's find other pictures. Hey, Ghost Hand. I'm back. Good to see you back too.
So...
How are things down there going?
Hi, Ghost
Other
Hand.
side of the
Hi, Brent.
equator. Brent's back.
Hi,
Corey's
Colton.
back. We're all back. And we have the secret to the air shield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks like something an idiot would have in his luggage.
Whose luggage? It wasn't there when I got into the plane.
All right, let's see here. I'm kind of looking at some of this stuff, and I'm like, I wonder if there's anything where I can use the inside, or like, hoping to find guides from these guys, you know? Here, I'm trying to find. If you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to find guidance on how to paint my quarters picture you see there. I'm kind of trying to get some guidance on it from my inspirations. In this case, that'd be Haruhiko Mikimoto. Definitely one of the people whom I am most inspired to draw like. So I'm looking around to see if there's an image he has of an interior piece so that I can sort of get an idea of what he was doing color-wise. I'm not really succeeding really much.
Did you check to see if he did do the interior?
He didn't. I mean, he didn't do interior design work on Macross. It's kind of a bummer. And I was hoping that maybe in some of these chronicles that I've got here, Macross Chronicles, I was hoping that maybe in one of these would be an interior piece on it. There's some gorgeous artwork in here, but none of it is what I'm looking for. So it's like an entire rundown on how the missiles work on the quad-leg round. We don't have any kind of painting on it. That's a bit funny. There are some interior pieces in here that are great.
I bet.
An entire rundown on meeting, which is funny. A huge 2-page poster on the characters of Macross. Some great stuff in here. Really should just scan these someday and just keep them in my morgue. These things are great. 690 yen, $7. Worth every dollar. But I'm not finding the interior pieces that I'm looking for. So I think I'm just going to improvise. Let's improvise. Because we're going to waste all of our show like looking for a picture.
Not total waste. At least you'll find the picture that inspires the look.
Let's see here. How do I reload you? There we go.
With a button.
I just need to watch. I need to bring up Watercolor Wednesday over here on my. There we go. So I can read everything. All right. And so here is what we're looking at for sort of the original interior quarters of Macross. I'm going to put that over here so I can kind of get an idea of what colors. Right? On this episode, Guy goes insane for not finding an image.
And takes out his insanity on George, the cat.
Right? Part of the reason the camera's all screwed up is because of said George. Well, let's see if I can't get this a little bit better there. There. Okay, time to get water.
I'm starting to realize that if this is watercolor paper, it's hot press watercolor paper. It's probably why it's reacting like it's a poster board.
All right, getting all set up over here. Brushes out. Brushes are ready. All right. You might be wondering, why is it that Guy decides to get his water after we start the show and not before? And you'd have to understand that George loves my water bottles, and he just comes up here onto the desk when I'm not looking and bloop, knocks them right over. So it's a George thing.
Yep. He's at that stage in kitten and development.
Yep, in that stage of kitten development. Alrighty. So let's talk about this a little here. We're going to need sort of a...
Let's not and say we did.
Let's not say we did.
Sorry, I'm trying to use dad puns.
Use my flat brush. I'm going to go in here over to this nice kind of light blue. Get some water into it. This is my mixing water. We'll start there. There we go. And I'm just putting in a little bit of this light blue.
Ooh, nice.
This is that nice, really nice blue that we got that's Holbein.
Is that the compost blue?
That's a cerulean,
Cerulean? Okay.
which I don't think is Holbein, actually, now that I look at it. I think it's one of my... It fits the color combo. Colors.
Mm.
In this episode, I actually get to paint. Yay! Look at me painting. Yeah. I'm just going to continue with this blue on all surfaces sort of facing away from the window.
That's cool. You're getting the light from the windows.
Right?
I feel.
Gives sort of a feel of what's going on here on this side. But the other thing I'm going to do is, cast it a little across here. And we'll pick a different color for the walls themselves. Yeah. Yay, painting. We're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Hey, I knew we could do it.
Right? Eventually.
I knew we could do it.
Gonna run on that line there. Same here. These guys.
So, point to find out. Still buckling. So I'm still wondering if this paper is poster or
Right.
cardstock that I'm going over. Either way, it's accepting it pretty well, like hot press paper. So, yeah, that's a thing.
So I'm using cold press on this side because I'm actually a fan of cold press, even though I know that wasn't your decision on that one, Pepper. You didn't have a choice in the matter.
I think I just started doing it and I completely forgot what paper I was doing it on. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can contrast the two types of paper. It is something you and I often talk about.
Yeah. I mean, I've used certain watercolors on Bristol board before.
Yep.
And that's like that like really goes like wonky. So I still have my suspicions that this may be hot press paper because
It's not
the
going that
warping
bad.
because as this stuff is like drying, the warping is kind of going down, and that's a sign of watercolor paper. So there you go.
You may have done it right by accident.
Yeah, I know, right? But I digress. I also, while you were gone, made another paint with the color that combining two colors to make this like really weird orange. that separates into yellow and reds.
Right.
So I'll need to give you one of the samples I have of that.
Oh, I'll take samples. To answer your question, Brent, it's a different type of manufacturing. The big thing that I see a difference between hot and cold press paper is that the cold press paper has more what they call tooth, which is when it has lots of bumps in the paper. So it's bumpier. So for me, I like it because it adds more chaos to my paints, and we love chaos. So it's more chaotic, whereas the hot press paper is smoother, and so it doesn't have as much of a rough sort of tooth. You were sewing.
So to kind of go into that, when the paper is being manufactured, hot press literally means that it's been pressed with heat, and that's why it has that soft texture, and no tooth. Kind of, it has like a very slick or a soft finish on the top, and
Yep.
and sometimes you'll get it on both sides. Sometimes you'll get it on one side. With cold press paper, you have a texture because there's no heating element, and it goes directly onto a texturized sheet for it to dry on.
Right.
And the only way that you know which side to paint on is which side, with watercolor paper, the side that receives water and it doesn't like basically puddle away from where you're putting your paintbrush. That's typically the side you want to do. You want the paper to absorb it, not the one that basically repels it, type deal.
Right. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of yellow into this blue to make it greener, to give the effect of sort of a lit area, taking in sort of this wall piece here. There we go. It's coming out kind of like this and heading out across the floor here. And that's giving this just a little bit of this like lighter color that I'm after here.
Cool.
Probably could use a bigger brush on this. That's all right. There we go. I'm going to bring this around. I need to remix new paint for this.
No, not remix.
Right? I hate this because I'm like, I'll never get the mix right.
Or you add one color just a smidge more than you did before.
right? So the green's gonna be slightly different.
Yep.
Like, really?
The beautiful thing of chaotic watercolor.
Right? There we go. A little bit more. It's all right. I'll loosen it up quite a bit. A lot more water into it. And it's going to be a different color. Look at that. That's all right. It was on a panel page, or it was at a panel anyway, so it'll look just like the panels are slightly different colors, which is cool.
Cool.
And that'll fit just fine.
Well, that sounds like a good thing.
Yeah. And we'll get that nice little chaotic. Well, I didn't do bad, I don't think. Doesn't look that different.
Well, that's good.
Bright pink. Bright pink. I love my bright pink. I have to use that somewhere in this painting.
For your knickknacks.
Yep.
Maybe some patty wax.
Knick-knack paddywhacks. Man, do you ever watch Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I watched it as a very young kid, and I still watch it when I find it.
You know Colin Mockery?
Oh yeah.
He had the funniest knick-knack paddywhack thing. Because it was beautiful. Had the audience totally stunned. It was great. He had done this. It was the news brief one.
Yes.
And
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. He was talking about how investigators are trying to figure out how somebody had killed somebody in a cow pasture. And they killed him with a tchotchke, and they were trying to figure out how they could get the knick-knack paddywhack killer.
Yeah. I remember that one.
That was so funny.
I am old enough to actually have seen it on air when it first aired.
Yep.
Which a lot of people like discovered Whose Line Is It Anyway, like much later than when it aired.
Yeah. They're still discovering it now.
I thought that someone told me that they brought it back for a little bit.
They did. Drew Carey was in charge for a while.
And then Aisha Taylor, the comedian, was the next one.
Yeah, Aisha Taylor had it for a while, and that was cool.
But like a lot of the people that were on that show, like the comedians and stuff, they stuck around. They hung around in pop culture for a little bit, and then they kind of, when the show went off the air, it was like I barely saw them anymore.
Right?
You know? Yeah, it was like the knick-knack paddywhack killer had just came right out and like went after them.
Right, exactly.
Bizarre.
Very strange. There we go.
It seems like I'm focusing on one side of this picture, but there's a reason for it.
Too much pink in the green, huh?
On yours?
Yeah, he's just. Yep, Brent's saying there's too much pink over here.
Hold on. Let me see here. Well, I see the blue. I see the yellow mix. I see the green.
No, he's making a commentary. There's no actual pink in here yet. There will be though.
Well, I can tell you right now, there's nothing but pink and green on mine.
Right?
Yeah. I'm putting in brown right now for the dog.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
yesterday I did a short broadcast to say, I'm going to rearrange my office, and then I didn't.
I saw that and I was like, oh. And then there was no follow up. So I was like, okay. He probably just taken the day.
Yeah, well, what happened actually was, as is usual, the whole plan here was foiled. So what
Foiled, you say?
happened, right? Foiled. But yeah, what had happened was that my buddy came over and he was like, yeah, we could do that. But I'll tell you now, we can do it quickly or we can do it right. And I was like, oh, that's not good. So
I think any single time I hear my friend came over to help me with this and then something like that follows, it's like, okay, so it didn't get done?
right? It didn't get done. So he's not wrong, though. I mean, we're going to take a couple of the doors that are out in the garage. I've got a couple of doors that were closet doors that we took them off the closets and replaced them. And the doors are still in the garage. And so we were going to take those and make countertops out of them.
Sweet.
So then we're just going to run them around the outside ring of the office here. And then that would allow us to do like have like table height desks or bar height desks all the way around to make it effectively a standing office. So the whole office will be a standing office.
Okay.
And so when he came over, he was like, we could do this right away, but the problem is that it would, we'd be rushing through it and we'd have to rebuild it in a couple of years. It's like, so let's go on ahead and do this right. And I was like, okay,
How'd that go? Oh, okay.
Well, the thing is, my back was in great shape while I was in Texas.
Uh-huh.
And part of the reason it was in great shape was because I was standing the entire time.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And so the idea that we had was if I made my desk into a standing desk, this would be far, far better for my health. And it would allow me to do more walking in general during the day because I was going to place like the drawing tablet on a different surface area than the keyboard and monitors. And then put this table back over there where it once was originally.
Gotcha.
And the idea here was that once that happens, I'd have to walk between stations to do different things during the day. Instead of having everything conveniently really close to each other, and then I don't walk all day. I just sit in a chair all day long.
On one desk, essentially.
Right, at one desk. So we're going to do that. That'll also open up the center area of this office so that it'll be much bigger and open, and I'll be able to do things in the middle of the office if I want. I'll be able to set up a green screen studio with lights and actually do green screen work over here. That'd be cool. So that's kind of one of the things I'm after.
Gotcha.
I think it'd be great. All right. Now let's get we did the walls. We'll get in here and do I still feel like no matter which way I do this, I always end up with, it's always darker than I want it to be. I feel like that's still...
What? With
everything.
watercolors?
Just everything. Yeah. It's not as light and airy as I was hoping for, but that's okay. We'll get there. Feel kind of like, it should be a little lighter and airier.
Well, maybe when you start adding other colors, you'll get that way.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm trying to do faded asphalt right now, and I think I'm failing.
Or fading.
Fading? Why would I be fading? No!
You just fade away.
Into the unknown. So we were, Bill and I found a Halloween treat, the Ray Bradbury narrated cartoon that was based off of a book he wrote.
Yep.
And we were watching it. And parts of it, if you've seen Over the Garden Wall, really do seem like Over the Garden Wall kind of harken back to some of the stuff that they did in that animation. Or at least influenced it in some way, shape, even if people like didn't intend to. Like there's definitely a lot of like, you can definitely tell that someone at least in this animation had watched it, because there's like some references that like definitely show. And in essentially, if you have not seen it, I recommend reading the book and watching the TV movie.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Cartoon Network was very young when that was produced. So they produced some fairly interesting things during that time when they were first getting started. And that was one of them. All right. You know what? I may not like it right now.
I do that all the time. I'll let it sit.
Yeah. It's like, I know this is supposed to be cartoony and stuff, so I'm trying to mimic like the light brushstroke watercolor background of some of the backgrounds. At least with the painting. I know it's not going to look like an actual cartoon, so.
Here we go. That's actually kind of cool. Trying to turn this guy into a silhouette, but I'm ending up with some cool like gradients in him by accident. Just kind of illustrate. I mean, this guy's entire job is just to illustrate, where and what a human-sized person in here would look like. But I'm ending up with accidental gradients in him, and it's kind of cool. Happy little accidents. There we go.
That's what I was. I mean...
What? All right. I don't need this brush anymore. Back to my blue brush that I loves so much. Well, maybe I should get a bigger brush. We're going to need a bigger brush.
Get the biggest brush.
Think, guys, this will work? That's a big brush.
Yes. Yes, I think it will work.
This is we sort of paint the painting with water first to make sure that it's all wet. So that it lays down the... When you do wet on wet, it does a different cool style.
I had a very inappropriate joke in my head. I'm sorry.
Well, you know.
When you mentioned wet on wet.
Yep.
I'll keep it to myself, guy.
Was it a mom joke? Because it should have been a mom joke.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Being very distasteful after you came back from Texas.
Oh no! He's leaking!
Did you touch him?
Yeah, I tapped the... I didn't mean to, but I tapped the guy.
Now it looks like one whole leg. It looks like one whole leg is like seeped out, and
right. It's kind of cool.
It sometimes works out for the picture, like when that.
Well,
happens.
I'm using this color, so it'll be fine. I'm using your Battleship green.
Yeah.
So it's actually not a problem. Does look like he's had an accident. Poor guy. Although it could work to my advantage because it could look like his shadow across the floor there. Right?
Yeah.
On the wet on wet, I've got this nice ability to get kind of a mottled color, which is cool. Make it look like sort of like weird flooring. That's why I use this big brush for it too. There we go. Get right up on here. There we go. Interestingly, your Battleship green is pretty close to the color that was on the wall that I had worked so hard to mix.
Hey.
I'm like, man, could have just used your Battleship green.
You know what? At least you now know.
Right?
And the more you know is half the battle.
Yo, Joe. Yeah, Joe.
American hero.
There we go. There we go. I'll clear this brush. This is where it's very useful to have the paint puck. Because this brush doesn't close like the other brush does.
Well, it has a few choice words for you, too.
Do what?
you were saying something about like it doesn't do something like the other one, and I was like, and I said, as a joke, I was like, it has a few choice words for you too.
Right? It's like, I'm done with you as well. All right. I feel like most quarters should have some kind of indicator as to where the bottom of the quarters are. Because not all quarters will be right side up at all times. In zero gravity, it might be very useful to know which side's up and which side's down.
Well, the side that has the stuff on the floor.
Right?
Tell me, are all of your furniture bolted to the ground?
So we're going to put in all my furniture. What? Oh, yeah, maybe. Or magnetically locked to the ground.
Yeah.
So you have to demag it in order for it to...
If you want to rearrange your area, you have to release the magnets.
We release the magnets. There we go. Yeah. I'm putting the pink in to sort of indicate the bottom of the room. That way you can see where the bottom of the room is and not have too much trouble. There we go. Look at that. That works. I'll clear out that.
This person is a very big minimalist. These
Right?
are quarters, right? There's no personality.
Well, these
It's
are
a
general
large blank
quarters.
room.
These are general quarters. Only called to whenever there's an, these are the quarters you have to go to whenever there's an emergency.
Oh, so they don't sleep there?
No, only during battle. I am totally making a ship joke, and I don't think that general quarters is a call on a ship to go to your battle stations and stuff like that. So when the ship sounds general quarters, you're all supposed to man your stations and stuff like that. So I was making a joke off of the fact that I was calling this general quarters, like generic, but then it was funnier to make the joke about it being general quarters. So I don't know. I just work here. Okay.
We're both making dad jokes and failing miserably to make each other laugh today, folks.
I know, right?
Apologize.
All of our jokes are falling flat.
Well, it's
That's
kind of
okay.
like so me and Bill, we started watching this old TV series called Spin and Marty on Disney Plus. And one of the kids, because it's based off of all the kids in the Mickey Mouse Club from that time period, not the 90s or late 80s. It's based off of the one older.
Yeah, the 50s one.
Yeah, that one. And Spin and Marty has this one kid in it, and Bill's like, he looks so familiar, and sure enough, he looked it up, and it's the kid. The kid would later go on to play Mr. Haney in Green Acres. But
Wow.
as like a kid, like, and if anyone's watched Green Acres, Mr. Haney has kind of like like this wiry like voice, but as a kid he's getting to use his actual voice, and it's like it's very bizarre because he doesn't have the accent that he's
Right?
trying to portray. Um, in
You weren't kidding though when you were saying you were watching an old show. I mean,
yeah,
if you're watching Green Acres Kid, you know,
Green Acres, an adult in Green Acres
as a
a
kid,
child. Yes.
and that's like television like my dad was watching when he was a kid.
Yeah.
That's serious.
Well, I like watching a lot of those shows.
Yeah.
And also, like, I have to remind myself, like, in the 90s, a lot of those shows were harkened back to by, like, my parents. I mean, your parents probably did too.
Yeah.
My grandparents, which were always around me. So, I mean, there's that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hope we didn't lose anyone because we were being so punny and dad jokey.
I don't know. I don't have the control panel up. I'm watching on my iPad, so
Well, I haven't seen any new comments, so
they're all asleep now. We've put them to sleep.
that was not my intention.
We're good napping work.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that.
I meant to ask you, how did you like the new Sailor Moon thing that movie that came to Netflix?
I didn't get to watch all of it. I got to watch the first half. So
Okay, what's your impression of the first half?
it felt like Sailor Moon.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely Sailor Moon. They definitely updated it, that's for sure.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that Usagi still is stupid. I mean, Usagi is like just awesome.
Well, I had to explain to Bill. We were watching the TV series, the Crystal series, not Eternal, and I had to explain to Bill like, yeah, Sailor Venus is supposed to be the duplicate, like basically the one that stands in her place if
She's
someone were
decoy.
to attack.
Yeah, she's the decoy.
Yeah, she's the decoy, and in truest fashion, she also is an idiot.
Right?
Like big time. Like they both have to take makeup exams together at times, and yeah, like I kind of forgot about that because she does display way more intelligence than Usagi at times. But Mina is very much an idiot as well.
Right?
Um,
All right. Thanks, Bill.
you're welcome.
So, okay, guys, it is time to take a break. So I'm going to switch to my.
Never. I'm not taking a break. You can't make me.
No, I can't make you. I tried once, but all I ended up with was lumps of clay. Time to stretch. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, no. All right. Ooh, it feels a lot better. Things are popping over here. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Depends. Do you want it to pop?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to let it sit and relax for a second. Looking at the electronic control system for transforming a Valkyrie. It's kind of funny. So many points of failure. You know what I mean? Like looking at it going, well, so many places that could just fail right there.
I hope everyone's enjoying me painting upside down.
It's a thing. We're all about upside down painting. Right? Everybody's about that.
Yeah.
Oh, here's what I was looking for earlier. Random vehicles. I need, like I said, I just need to scan all these things. And some of them are just so cool. All right. That's what I will spend the day doing today. All right. Let's get back to painting.
That's not what we're doing.
Well, I was, once again, kind of looking through the old Macross files there to see if I can't find something, cool. I don't know. All righty. Upstairs part up here at the top. Kind of feel like I want it to be bright and airy of some sort. How did they do it in the doodly wop? That's a technical term, by the way, the doodly wop.
It's with the flippity flap, right?
Exactly.
In the hoppity hop? Or is the hoppity hop something different?
The hoppity hop, well, you do the hoppity hop, and you have to do the hoppity hop. Right?
Right. What color should this be?
Oh, I get steak today for lunch because I made steak last night. Ooh.
Oh.
I always make extra steak so that I can have steak for lunch. If I didn't, one would call that a mistake. I mean, really, did you guys not see that one coming?
Oh no, I saw it. I was just waiting.
You're just waiting. It was there.
I saw it coming. I saw it coming.
Like a mile away. It was pretty obvious. Yeah. All right.
Thinking like wherever this van is, you don't want to be outside because they have like a full-on bush growing up in the middle of like a crack in the sidewalk.
So it's probably somewhere in Texas.
Yeah.
That's where all the bushes are, so makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. By the way, figured out. Definitely hot press paper.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So it definitely is watercolor paper. Woohoo!
Always a plus. Could have been ugly.
Yep.
All right. Cleaning the palette. Some more water on the palette. This big happy brush is really big on water, which is wonderful. And we'll put some of this,
Happy blue.
just a yellowish wash here on the lighting ring. Just indicating that these lights are yellow of some sort, as opposed to a blue lighting scheme. There we go. There we go. All right. You got the ceiling looking pretty yellow. Yeah.
Mm.
And okay. Got a lot of air traffic all of a sudden.
Are you hearing like planes and stuff?
Yeah, but not normal planes. I'm hearing military aircraft. A lot of
Because
military.
they know what you're working on and they're interested, and so they're trying to
Trying to
get it so you don't realize that they're trying to spy on you.
All right. I know the Marines were operating out of Centennial Airport yesterday. That was really weird. Bunch of Marine
Really weird.
F-18s out of. That's like a weird airport for them to operate out of. It's like,
Yeah, that is definitely weird.
yeah,
On the weird side.
not sure why they were. There we go. Oh, that's pretty good. All right. Coming back. It was more interesting. I saw the Marine planes, and they weren't carrying dummy ordnance. It's kind of interesting. And AMRAAMs on them. Not sure what the story is behind that. Something is happening.
You're not part of the classified information, so you're not allowed to know.
Right? Exactly. But I did notice yesterday when I was coming back in, we were following a Department of Energy convoy. It can't end well.
Maybe they're coming to our house because Excel Energy has already said that we're bad. We're bad energy users here.
Yeah, that's the wrong kind of Department of Energy.
Trying to crack down on Excel Energy's sad houses.
There you go. It was kind of cool, though. I mean, I didn't quite catch on to what they were for a while there. You know, they're just it's kind of interesting. They were F-350 pickups, but they'd taken the bed off and put these boxes on the back that were like little, I don't know, like they had a door on the back and no windows, but they had like 12 or 13 antennas on top.
Uh-huh.
Pretty serious. And it, and I was like, it took me a while. I was like, I don't know. We saw 3 of them in a row, and they're like, well, that's interesting. Then we saw like another 5, and then another 2. And then there was a big rig, which had DOE plates. And I was like, well, that's interesting. And as I passed it, the cab had bulletproof windows. You know, they had the windows on there with bolts all around it. And I was like, oh, I know what that is. That's a nuclear convoy.
That's a convoy that you don't want to mess with.
Don't mess with that convoy. Like, I know what that is. That's DOE. They're moving. Although they probably weren't moving warheads. Generally, when we move warheads, we don't. It's not easy to identify. The warheads move in like UPS trucks.
I think, like, if you want to move a warhead, you want to be as least attention-getting as possible.
Right. A DOE convoy is probably just carrying all the parts. Yeah. But, yeah. It was kind of funny. And then all these Marines at Centennial and all of their AMRAAMs are live. Makes me kind of like, what's going on? You know, I'm hearing a whole bunch of F-18s flying around out there, and so something's happening in town today.
Well, we'll find out if we explode.
Yeah, if something explodes, you heard it here first, guys. If we all vanish tomorrow, you know why.
It's the end. No, I'm sorry.
All right. I'm
I'll be
liking
right
this
back.
picture.
If the feed suddenly goes dead.
And in fact, I kind of feel like I should kind of adjust the color a little over here too. Feel kind of like that's down there near near where Colton is. So Colton, if you vanish, we know what happened. I'd say we would avenge you, but we won't.
Is he talking to you?
I'm sorry.
Bill wasn't paying attention, so he couldn't fill me in on what you were talking about.
Bill was what?
Bill wasn't paying attention, so he couldn't fill me in on what you were talking about.
Oh.
It's like I knew you were talking to him, but there's where you stand on his importance meter.
I'm in 2 work conversations, so I'm nearing the limit of my attention span.
Yeah, he's probably, doing the work thing.
I know, I can't complain. We all know who makes more money in my relationship.
I was going to say, man, you and I, we're artists. We don't make a lot of money. We got to rely on somebody else to make the money. Pay the bills.
So I'm using the spaceship color.
The one that I'm using even as we speak.
Yeah, we're using the same color right now.
We're both using the same color. I wonder if it's using the same pigment we're using.
It's multiple pigments.
I'm just spreading it out over here. There we go. I'm trying to get some variety of color in here, make it look a little bit more dynamic.
So are you gonna be using the car that you got from your Texas trip in anything?
That Jaguar?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. That was one of my dad's favorite cars. He just was always enamored with that car. Now, a while back, I was here and somebody had one of those. For those of you guys who are wondering, it's a 1963 Jaguar XKE, which they call the E-Type. That one technically is a fixed head E-Type 2+2, which means it has a back seat and doesn't have, it's not a convertible. But it's, I remember him working on that model in the 70s. I mean, I was not much older than my son, maybe actually markedly younger than my son, because I would think I was 8 or 9 when he built that. And I remember him out in the garage putting it together, and it's a 1/8 scale car, so it's huge. It's a massive model. And back then, he was trying to figure out how to make electric cars work. So he wanted to
build a 1/8 scale electric car, so he was rigging it for that. Then he realized he couldn't get the model to work at 1/8 scale, and so that's all right. So he just built the model up and everything, and it's been sitting in the garage. But I remember it being prominent in his house for years. And then whenever he married my stepmom, he shrink wrapped it, as my dad shrink wrapped everything. It was hysterical how much he shrink wrapped in his life. So he shrink wrapped it, and so I've left it in the shrink wrap now. It will always live in that shrink wrap because that's part of the story now. It's almost as funny as the silk car itself. But yeah, that's one of my sort of prized possessions now. So, yep. I don't know if I'll ever use an E-type for my stuff though.
Well, I was figuring if you have like one of those people that are in Bellatrix Rising that was like super rich, and
Right.
like they outfitted it with space travel capacity.
There you go. That actually could be kind of fun.
Yeah. And then when you pick up the person from that's closer to our century, they're like,
I know that.
that's
Yeah.
a classic car. I know this.
Just loving the chaos here. Live in the chaos.
Careful now. You never know what you're going to summon from the chaos.
Always happens every time I'm painting. Summon some demon or something in the chaos. Another demon.
My husband says the same thing. My husband says the same thing, guy. He's like, stop. I don't need the fear of something coming around the corner and biting me.
Right. Start the anarchy. All right. A little bit of this gray blue up here, and I'll just keep adding into this chaos up here too.
Great.
I'm really having fun with chaos now. Fun with chaos.
All right. This is where I'm at. Turned it upside down to me, but right side up to you.
Oh, it looks nice. I like it. I really like it.
I feel like I haven't done watercolor like consistently in a while.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't done it at least a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I'm funny.
Actually, I didn't do any watercolor. I didn't do any art while you were gone.
Well, that's a crime. That's a crime right there.
You say this, but I don't know.
I mean, you do know that we are in fact artists, right?
I know. I know.
This is like our job.
Trust me. I'm fully aware.
There you go. I kind of like this piece. It looked nice. It's all kinds of weirdly colorful. So, yeah. So, what did you do the whole time? If you were not arting?
I was, well, I mean, I wasn't not creating. I just had a really, the week you were gone was pretty bad for me. I wrote, I did writing.
Writing is
So
good.
there's that. No, it was just, it was bizarre. I don't know why. It was just like I couldn't focus really well, and I was trying to get into the swing of things. I need to get back into doing some stuff for Earth Chow and stuff, and nothing was coming. Nothing. I had like a week-long art block.
Wow.
And
Maybe
like
just need
anything I tried starting, like it just didn't really work. Like I was fighting every single moment. Like it was like something's not right. I can't submit this. I don't like on how this is coming out. Why am I feeling this way? I don't know.
I
Tacos.
hate people. Gotcha. I think I've been down that road.
Where you
Especially
do all of that and then you end in tacos?
It always ends in tacos.
Yes.
Everything ends in tacos. I mean, to be realistic, though, everything is tacos. All right.
Everything and anything is tacos. Yes, I will agree to that.
So I have noticed something. If you look, there's like these lines going up my screen over there on the table. It affects my phone too, and I found out it's my LED.
Yeah.
It's like the LED lamp on top here interferes with the ability to do light, and it's just really strange. I was like, well, okay, there's that. You know?
Yeah, I have a thing, like a halogen thing that also does that too. If I turn it on, it has like some weird lighting effects.
Yeah, it's the transmission frequency. It's really strange.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be very cool though for like YouTube stuff, but other times not so much.
Yeah, I think I need to, I don't know, I'm going to probably test frequencies to see if it, does better or worse. So, I don't know. Let's see. Looks like it's just kind of gray outside. Like kind of a uniform gray.
Huh? Outdoors?
Yeah. Kind of weird.
Well, let's hope for rain so that it goes away.
Yeah, kind of weird.
But I like this type of weather. I can go outside and not worry about getting burned.
Yeah, good luck on that.
Oh, I know I'll burn. My skin is paler than pale in some parts.
Yeah. It is the nature of the beast. And the beast being you and me.
Yeah, I was always kind of jealous of my siblings that basically could go out in the sun and they don't burn.
You're like, I hate you a lot.
They don't have to wear SPF 100 in order not to burn.
We only wear SPF 1. What's your problem? You're like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Once this dries, I'll scan it in and post it, and it'll be great.
Sweet.
Pretty happy with all of this. This is turning out really nice. I like the kind of, I don't know, like this time my camera has decided to kind of tint everything slightly yellow. I'm noticing my camera picks random colors.
Yeah. It's not a bad yellow. There could be worse yellows.
Yeah.
You could
yeah.
have canary yellow.
Or come in green. I feel sick. You know.
Hey,
Oh man.
there's bathrooms for what you're about to do. Oh wait, you're not really sick.
Yep. Some of these are still kind of gouache watercolors. I don't know how he gets the consistency he gets. Mikimoto.
With his watercolor work?
Yeah, with everything he does. It's just nice. It's just so nice. Yeah, I just feel kind of left out.
You shouldn't feel left out.
Or maybe not left out, but maybe just not so nifty. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to think of here. There's a word here. I can't think of it. That's all right.
I think this color is the color.
Okay. So, kind of moving along here and doing stuff. Wonder if I could bring up, since my painting now needs to relax for a while. I've been thinking about redesigning my uniforms.
Again?
Well, not really again. Because I don't mind my dress blues. They're my mess dress, but the service uniform is sort of the same service uniform I had. I sort of swiped it from what I was using a billion years ago.
Okay.
Here, I'll bring it up so we can see what we're talking about here. Gonna take me a second. But I've been using the same jumpsuit design since high school. And so I'm thinking maybe it's time for me to grow it up a little.
Grow it up? What do you mean, grow it up? It's classic.
Right? Let's see. Not there. Where did I put it?
Now that guy's not painting, is anyone going to comment?
Yeah, I know. We haven't had anything since Brent a long time ago. I wonder if, I think everybody probably got busy, which, you know, has a different connotation, generally speaking.
Yes.
this is older than that, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, I got to use my new orange. Sweet.
Where did I put all of it? Now I'm kind of like worried. So I'm like, did I hide it for myself? What did I do?
Yes, yes, you did hide it from yourself.
I'm so mean that way. Oh, part of our problem is that the OneDrive is not started.
Oh, well, there you go.
We go start the OneDrive.
The OneDrive to rule them all. Oh, wait,
I
wrong,
wonder if
wrong
that's
show.
where they were coming from.
Wrong show.
Boy, you're really having problems, aren't you? Well, we'll just sit here and wait. So we're waiting for the OneDrive to load. We're waiting for the OneDrive to crash. That's what it did. Oof. Now it's starting to move. I'm having some real sluggish problems with my computer from time to time here.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to that because I think that's pretty much everywhere right now.
Yeah. And that's a different uniform. Which maybe that's something to base stuff off of. Yeah. Weird. but okay. Like this one, this page loaded a whole lot faster. I don't know what the story is.
You can thank the previous page.
Right? Okay, so it wasn't Gateway uniforms. There we go.
Part of me, like this mask I am coloring right now that's falling out of the back of this van, part of me wants to actually make it.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be a spoof off of like what would happen if Planet of the Apes, like one of the ape characters from the original, combined with a gray alien.
Okay.
Here.
Gotcha. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Planet of the Greys. So yeah, what I was saying was this is the uniform that I was drawing back in the day, and it's pretty much the same critter as the uniforms they're using right now in Bellatrix. So I'm like, maybe I want to fix that. So,
But sometimes those just work.
yeah, sometimes they do, but I feel a little like they're bland. I feel like they're a little bland. And it may be because literally I drew this in 1989 or 90. You know what I mean? And so it's like maybe I just a little out of date.
You're unimpressed with your own artwork.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little unimpressed with my own artwork. And a different one. I don't know.
I'm going to open this up. If anyone's listening, I would like to know if you, A, have watched or still like Scooby-Doo, and B, have you ever fantasized what would happen if Scooby-Doo and the gang had children? What would Scooby-Doo's child be named?
Booby-Doo?
Did you just say Booby-Doo?
Maybe. Plausibly.
I mean, that's not a bad one. I mean, his last name is Doo.
Right? Just saying. Can't help myself sometimes.
He had a cousin with the last name of D.
Also true.
And dumb.
Really having a problem with the drive. My OneDrive is going really slow. Not sure why.
It wasn't appreciative that you were gone all that time, just like your cat.
And maybe legitimately, this is probably the first time that my OneDrive has been activated since I got back from Texas. So maybe it's synchronizing with all the changes I made while I was in Texas, because I made a lot of changes.
Gotcha.
So legitimately, that's probably what's going on.
So is your guys' not George cat, but your other cat like warming back up to you guys, or no?
Yeah, she's forgiving us a little. Plausibly forgiving us. I have to see how that works.
Well, she knows where you sleep, so
Right? Which is not as comforting as you'd think that'd be.
not with cats.
No.
With dogs, yes. Cats, no.
Cats, no, it just becomes trouble. Just trouble.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, I have everything all screwed up in here, don't I? I'm like looking through here going, gosh, all of these things are kind of messed up. I need to clean up these directories. I'm spending an awful lot of time with my computer kind of going and being locked up. So I'll just sit here and just hang. Because by the time my computer comes back, we will have wasted like 3 more minutes of the show by sadness. But man,
You just say wasted by sadness.
wasted by sadness.
So I finished up a script last night for the anthology that I'm a part of.
Oh, good.
Sent it off to the artist that I'm working with. And then I will meet with him after, not this coming Sunday, but I believe the following Sunday, just in case we have to make any additional changes, whatnot.
Fair.
And he is in Canada.
You know how they came up with the name for Canada, right?
I don't know.
I'm about to tell you. So they just took
Okay.
scribble tiles and they put it in a hat, right? And then they shook
I
the
feel like this is wrong.
and then they started pulling tiles out, and they would,
I think what you're saying is a fib. I don't believe you.
Right? So they pulled out the tile and they're like CANADA.
And I mean, as someone who has family members that are in Canada, the only people that say A in Canada are around Toronto.
Yep. I actually tell my Canadian friends that joke all the time. Because trust me, they have far more than enough jokes about us Americans. Okay, let's talk about this.
Well, I mean,
Some kind of caller here.
we have a lot to make fun of.
We do. Maybe if we...
I'm going to see something. I think... Oh, we don't have a counter of anyone that's actually on. Okay.
It says 2 up there. I see 2.
It doesn't on my screen, so...
No. It's also not exactly...
I know it doesn't, like, report accurate numbers. I mean,
right.
That would be helpful.
So I'm just kind of figuring this out here. What if I were to just run that along that line? Ah, that's a huge brush. And not the right size. There we go. My wife had asked me, why is it always a unitard? And I was like, well, actually, in this case, it's because this doubles as a spacesuit. So,
Well, that makes sense. Somewhat.
yeah, somewhat. But I also kind of like the stripes like this. Oh, cool.
So now I have the stuff in the rest of the van. Still debating on if I should do the sky or not, or just leave that like white. But we have 7 minutes left of the show.
Yep. So whatever you're doing, make sure you do it. You know, whatever you're gonna do it fast.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of feel like I need to have it sit like this for a bit.
You know, that's what I'm doing. I'm letting it kind of.
Well, not that I need it to dry. I mean, I put light enough layers on that it dries pretty quickly. I think I just need to sit it a bit because I'm not sure where to go now.
That's fair. Okay, so I'm kind of looking at this going, well, I like stuff that's asymmetrical. But I'm not sure whether that's kind of interesting. Like the uniforms go out over the thumb to cover the hand a little bit, and that'll give you the ability to press the seal to seal your hands.
Okay.
I like that a little bit better. Just to give us sort of an idea. I feel kind of like we need something in the middle area somewhere, like that. That looks weird. All right, no, don't do that. Some part of me just keeps saying I should extend this. That kind of looks cool. I have always sort of had a 70s science fiction aesthetic going for this?
Well, I mean, yeah. Like, why wouldn't you want anything else?
Right? I mean, I'm a 70s kid, 70s, 80s kid, so that kind of makes some sense. I do like this. This is looking pretty good. Especially if I had off color here or uniform color. There we go, kind of like that. We'll take first major redesign in a long time for these uniforms.
I don't know. I liked your original ones.
Yeah, they just weren't styling as much as I wanted them to be. Just thinking about it, I was like, if I were wanting to cosplay this uniform, I really wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this uniform, however, I'd like to cosplay. That'd be fun.
I'm trying to do like a 1970s aesthetic with this, but myself, but that's where I'm coming across is the coloring.
Right?
Because like I was thinking about it, like the Mystery Machine from Scooby Doo, it looked like a 1960s van.
It did, yes.
And this one kind of looks like they retrofitted a van from the 50s, but possibly in the 70s.
Right?
I mean, I don't want that weird Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts van, which was red, black, and silver from the 80s.
Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts. Wasn't the 13 Ghosts like that really horrible, I think I actually saw it, horror flick and regretted
It
it?
was only... Okay, so Scooby-Doo and the 13th Ghost is the movie they recently released. Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts is a 13-episode series that had Vincent Price playing Vincent Van Gogh.
I see.
So yes, it was something I watched. Because I was a kid, and some weird reason I loved Vincent Price.
No, there's nothing wrong with loving Vincent Price. That's pretty cool.
I mean, I don't know why. Like if he was on, if that like the original Haunted Hill, or something like that was on as a kid, like I tried to watch it, and then my grandparents would see that what I was watching and like basically stop it, but yeah, I was a weird kid.
You're a weird adult, so it's all right.
Well, I mean, if you have a weird childhood, you tend to be weird as an adult too.
That was not insulting. It was just simply a statement of fact.
Yeah.
Maybe the stripe should be on the cuffs. That actually looks kind of cool. Take it off the shoulders.
But Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts, when it was on air, a lot of people had a problem with it because Velma and Fred weren't involved. It was just Daphne and Shaggy, as far as the original humans with Scooby-Doo goes.
Okay.
And then Scrappy Doo was part of their gang in it, which no one likes Scrappy.
Yeah.
Like,
no one likes Scrappy. He just gets.
A lot of people don't like Scrappy. Some people actually do like Scrappy. Other people don't.
It's the nature.
It depends on the series for me. Like the original series is kind of weird because like he goes from being annoying to just super annoying. And in 13 Ghosts, he was a little bit more tolerable. Not by much.
We're totally out of time.
Oh, we're out of time?
Yep. So we're gonna have to postpone this to Friday. Continue talking about the house made of glass that cut Scooby-Doo in half.
That would be horrible. Which half would Shaggy get? And which one would Velma get?
Oh man, I am still traumatized by watching 13 Ghosts. I should never have done that. And I did, and now I regret it.
That's a really good Tony Shalhoub movie, though.
Yeah, he was pretty cool in it, but that's it. Okay, guys. It was good having you all here, and I will see you all later. Thanks for joining me, Pepper. Appreciate it.
You're
It's
welcome.
good to be back in the saddle again. So, and then I will talk to everybody here later. Until then, keep your eyes on the stars, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Computer, good night.